Across the spine of the earth, there lies a shadow, a wall that coils like a sleeping dragon through mountains and deserts, its stones whispering of empires long turned to dust. It has felt the tread of armies, the prayers of emperors, and the silence of centuries. But beneath those ancient stones still breathes a question, one older than China itself. Why do we build walls? And what are we truly trying to keep out? Welcome, traveler, to Rift of Realms, where myth, history, and mystery intertwine like smoke over the ruins of time. Today, we walk the length of a legend, a monument so vast it can be seen from the heavens, yet still hides its deepest secrets beneath the dust of ages. This is the tale of the Great Wall of China, the echoes of the Immortal Empire. Before we step into the storm of history, take a moment to anchor yourself to this journey. If the mysteries of our world call to you, if you believe that the past still whispers through the stones of forgotten empires, then don't let this realm fade when the mist clears. Hit the like button to keep the fire burning. Subscribe to join our fellowship of seekers, and share this story with those who still believe that the unknown is worth chasing. Now breathe in. Feel the dust of 1,000 years beneath your feet. Because what you're about to hear is not just history, it's a heartbeat carved into the bones of the world. Let the journey begin. Long before the first emperor, before the rise of Qin or Han, there were tribes, scattered kingdoms fighting beneath the gaze of heaven. The north wind carried fear, for beyond it rode the Xiongnu horsemen who moved like storms, vanishing into the steppe as swiftly as they struck. To protect their villages, the ancient states built small barriers, earthen ramparts, wooden palisades, not one wall, but many, woven across the land like stitches upon a wound. In the 7th century BCE, the state of Qi raised the first known wall, a humble line of stone running through what is now Shandong. Then came the states of Yan, Zhao, Qin. Each built their own defenses, their own fragments of hope against the endless sky. But these walls were fragile, born of fear rather than unity. And fear alone cannot endure the weight of centuries. Then came one man, one vision, a ruler who sought to end the chaos by binding all under heaven into one name. The year was 221 BCE. The warring states had bled the land dry. And from the west, the kingdom of Qin, disciplined, ruthless, emerged, triumphant. Its ruler declared himself not merely king, but the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang. With fire and fear, he united the world he knew, but conquest breeds paranoia. The Xiongnu raided his borders, ghosts upon horseback, and so the emperor turned to the horizon and ordered that the old walls of the past be bound together into one. It began like a fever dream. Hundreds of thousands of laborers, soldiers, peasants, prisoners marched into the wilderness. They carried stones on their backs. They dug with their hands. For every 10 who built, one survived. Yet the emperor pressed on. "Let the wall stand," he commanded, "and the dragon of the north shall bow." They said when he rode to inspect the work, he looked upon the horizon and saw a line that never ended. And for a moment, a rare, fleeting moment, the first emperor smiled. But the wall hungered. Beneath every stone, a life was buried. The people called it the world's longest graveyard. In the legends, a woman named Meng Jiangnu searched for her husband, a laborer taken to build the wall. When she found he had died there, she wept so deeply that the wall itself collapsed, revealing his bones. The myth endures not as rebellion but remembrance, that behind every empire of stone, there beats a human heart. Dynasties fell, others rose, yet the wall endured, rebuilt, extended, transformed. Under the Han, it became more than defense, it became destiny. For along its shadow ran the arteries of empire, watchtowers, signal fires, trading posts. It was the spine not only of war, but of the Silk Road. Along its path came silk and jade, horses and spices and ideas, Buddhism from India, astronomy from Persia, whispers of distant lands beyond the horizon. The wall, meant to divide, began to connect, but for every step forward, danger waited. The nomadic confederations the Xiong knew. Later the Mongols tested its strength. For them, the wall was a challenge, not a barrier. Waves of riders struck like lightning across the steppe, and the frontier burned again and again, yet still the wall stood scarred but unbroken. The Han emperors declared, "As long as the fires on the watchtowers burn, China endures." But time is the only army that never retreats. Centuries became dust. The wall changed hands, Tang, Song, Yuan, each dynasty carving its mark upon the bones of the dragon. The Mongol Empire under Genghis Khan swept past it, shattering the illusion of safety. Under their rule, the wall slept. Stones crumbled, towers fell to ruin. But when the Ming rose from rebellion, they awoke the dragon once more. The Ming emperors, masters of architecture and endurance, rebuilt the wall we know today, not of rammed earth but of stone and brick, sealed with rice flour mortar. 5,500 miles of majesty, every brick laid by hand, every watchtower a prayer. From the Bohai Sea to the Gobi Desert, it coiled once more a serpent of civilization, glittering in the dawn. It was said that at sunrise, the light touched the easternmost tower first, and the dragon's spine awoke its shadow stretching west across the mountains. Soldiers lit beacons in sequence, fire to fire, a message traveling faster than any horse. In 1 hour, the capital could know of invasion. This was not merely a wall, it was communication. Civilization made visible, but walls remember. They remember every cry, every whisper, every drop of sweat and blood that forged them. The Great Wall has heard the songs of soldiers, the laughter of masons, the silence of bones buried in its shadow. Some say their spirits walk it still, the guardians of the dragon's spine. Travelers at dusk speak of ghost lights flickering along the towers when no fire burns, of drums echoing from the mist, long after the centuries are gone, and of an ancient whisper that follows the wind. Do not forget us. But perhaps they are not ghosts at all. Perhaps they are memories, the echo of a people who built so much that even time must honor them. Today, the wall stands as the world's largest monument, visible from the heavens, though not, as myth says, from the moon. Yet its power is not in its size, but in its symbolism. It tells us that civilization is fragile, that unity requires sacrifice, that even empires, like dragons, must one day sleep. Millions now walk where soldiers once stood. They run their hands over the stone and feel faintly the pulse of ages. Beneath their feet, the dragon dreams still, waiting for another dawn, another empire, another story. The Great Wall stretches beyond sight, not just across the mountains of China, but across the memory of humankind itself. Each stone a heartbeat, each tower a pause in time. Together, they form something far greater than defense, a living line between what was and what will be. They called it the Wall of 10,000 Li, but distance is only a shadow of what it truly measures. Because what it guards is not a border, it's the soul of a civilization. For over 2 millennia, empires rose and fell against its spine. Qin's ambition, Han's endurance, Ming's defiance, all written here in the silence between the stones. But listen closely, and you'll hear more than history. You'll hear echoes, echoes of builders whose hands bled into the earth, echoes of soldiers who swore their oaths to the horizon, echoes of mothers who waited for sons that never came home. They are the true immortals of this empire, not emperors in palaces of jade, but those who built eternity from dust. Today, the wall stands quiet, its watchtowers empty, its stones worn smooth by centuries of rain, yet still it endures. Not as a monument to war, but as proof that even in division, humanity seeks meaning, order, continuity. Because the Great Wall was never only meant to keep enemies out. It was built to remind us that civilization itself is fragile, that every age must guard what it cherishes most. And as you gaze upon its endless spine, you begin to see it not as a wall, but as a mirror, a reflection of who we were and who we still are. They say the wall is the body of a sleeping dragon, its tail in the desert, its heart in the mountains, its head lost among the clouds. But perhaps it never truly sleeps. Perhaps it dreams of the hands that shaped it, of the voices that once echoed along its ridges, of the empire that believed it could touch the eternal. And maybe, in its dreaming, it keeps the world from forgetting, because history is not buried in the past. It hums beneath our feet, waiting for us to listen. The Great Wall of China endures, not just as stone upon stone, but as the echo of the immortal empire, a testament that even time must bow to the will of those who dared to dream in granite and sky. And so, the dragon sleeps on its breath, the wind, its heartbeat, the thunder beyond the mountains, a reminder that no matter how far we fall from our beginnings, we are still part of the endless spine of time. The wall watches still, and somewhere, beyond the mist, the empire remembers. This is Rift of Realms, where myth and memory meet, and the forgotten still whisper through the stones of time. Until the next realm calls, remember, the past is never gone. It's only waiting to be found.